What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again. And today we're going to talk about a lot of really exciting things. Hot Toys 1000% emptied the clip this morning. They said, you know what? Everything that we have that's good, that's in production, throw it out there right now. Let's get those things announced, baby. Let's get the people excited. Let's give them what they're here to see. And they did. We're going to make sense of all of it. We're going to talk about the Grievous, the Darth Vader, Iron Man, Black Widow Artisan, Iron Spidey Artisan, the definitive Darth Vader possibly, and of course the Joaquin Phoenix Joker versus the in-art Joker, the whole debate going on with that. I'll offer my 2 cents and try to make sense of everything. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you joining me for this fun one. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss anything that goes live in 1/6 scale collecting as it goes live on this channel. That said, let's start with General Grievous. Guys, this was on the leaked list, and my bro Kiko Collects and I may be eating crow on this one. However, I do want to say that maybe I was slightly less skeptical than Kiko, not to throw him under the bus, but at first I was like, I'm skeptical, I'm hesitant. This looks like a list that somebody manufactured saying, these are all the figures that people want to see, and we're gonna put them on one list, this leak memo. Well, now we have a really good indication that that league list was probably accurate. You have a General Grievous here that's die cast. It is part of the Dark Side edition, the Dark Side line, because you have this special edition coin that you can only get through Sideshow in the United States, or if you want to buy through Hong Kong reseller for the special edition, you can go that route too. All these figures will be up for pre-order with Comic Concepts. I'll have links in the description below as soon as I have them. But again, you won't be able to get any special edition with them. It is going to be a lot cheaper if you don't care about the coin or whatever the special edition accessory is. And you can use my code that I'll put in the description as well, WillFox, for $10 off. So guys, let's talk about this General Grievous. This thing is just incredible. I mean, look, we've all wanted General Grievous for years now. Everyone's wanted General Grievous in their collection. Some people settled for the Sideshow version. Many of us said, I'm going to hold out for the hopefully not super far away Hot Toys version. And we finally have one, and it is a die cast body. What you see, what they've done here with Hot Toys, they've marked all the die cast portions in red. So you got a lot of die cast metal components here on the legs. Pretty much most of the actual joints are die cast. And that's incredible. This thing is a pure work of art. It's stunning. I cannot wait to get it in my collection. I'm super excited. Look, if you're a Star Wars fan, I can't imagine many collectors passing on this General Grievous unless you just don't care about the prequels or the character. But this has been a figure that's been a long time in the making. It has separate rolling eyeballs. The paint applications look phenomenal. The Sideshow version was always like decent besides the joints. It couldn't really hold its own weight very effectively. But if you got it in the right pose, you can make it work. This has a wired cape. It has die-cast metal joints and parts, an incredible head sculpt. I'm at a loss for words. With rolling eyeballs, guys, buckle up. This is going to be a long video. We're going to be here a while. But this General Grievous is just, I can't say enough good things about it. It's incredible. I'm definitely dopoing this. It's not even a question. This is absolutely coming home. I can't, again, imagine many collectors who are Star Wars fans who are not going to want this. I mean, this thing, just the sheer presence it has. Look at this photo. Look at this photo right here. Like, it's absolutely incredible. This is everything that we've wanted from a General Grievous figure. I don't know how we could be any more excited than this. I mean, what is there bad to say? There's nothing negative to say here. It looks great. It's die cast. The paint applications are great. It has rolling eyeballs. It looks like General Grievous. It has 4 USB powered lightsabers. I mean, Hot Toys literally just, again, emptied the clip and said, let's go, baby. Let's go. And they did it. So General Grievous also has the chest that you can pull out. Look at the articulation. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, this thing is just awesome. You can use them without the cape if you want. You can pose them up that way. There's just so much good here. I mean, you can see openable chest armor displaying inner mechanical details. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. You can open the chest to show a little bit more. I probably won't be using that very frequently. I'll probably put them with the cape and the 4 lightsabers, or maybe even 2. But damn, we just got to see how this is going to get in hand. We don't know how the joints are going to hold up over time compared to the Sideshow version. These are die-cast, hopefully superior. We're putting a lot of faith in Hot Toys, but they've earned our faith. They've released a lot of amazing figures. I was projecting this one to be somewhere around $375. Based on the Hong Kong price that Secret Base put out this morning, I think it's probably going to be around $375 to $385 would be my speculation. Some people think it could be a little bit higher. I think that's about right though, $375 to $385, just based on precedent, about 25% import fee, so forth. It's incredible. I'm dopoing this. Whatever anyone else wants to do, that's fine. For me, this is an absolute dopo. Let's talk about one of the other exciting things here. We got a Darth Vader. So I've been on record for quite a while now talking about how the Kenobi Vader, in my opinion, is the definitive Darth Vader. So it's funny. Some people are giving me an L for that take. Guys, this one didn't exist at the time. And, you know, this is an incredible Darth Vader. There's no doubt about it. But I think one of the reasons that I considered the Kenobi Darth Vader the definitive Darth Vader is not just because of this incredible head sculpt that you see on your screen. It's because it also has a standard Darth Vader outfit that is very akin to Rogue One that you could also put on display, but the same figure. So it can be both things. It can be the best battle damage head sculpt that Hot Toys has ever done, but it can also be a standard Darth Vader that looks incredible on your shelf if you want him to be that. So that's why I think Kenobi is still definitive in my eyes, because there's no doubt about it. As far as battle damage goes, this is a superior figure. It's not even a question. This figure in the battle damage parts is just vastly superior to the Kenobi version. You have not only the amazing Kenobi head sculpt that they're reusing, it looks like to me, with maybe a little bit more battle damage on the helmet possibly, but you also have this other version here showing a little more of Hayden Christensen and of course the Broken Mask. This is a special edition, I get that, but still, end of the day, a lot of really cool battle damage. You can see the robotic leg there, which we'll show as well. The new base, which is awesome. The Kenobi bases were great. These are way better, no doubt about it. Of course, the cybernetic parts that you can see more visibly. You got wires running into his actual skin, the arm of the figure. It's incredible. The detail on this is absolutely remarkable. Movable eyes, which is pretty much the standard for every figure nowadays. The detail on the head, it's just awesome. You can absolutely see Hayden in there. It's pretty wild. You see Darth Vader and you see Hayden Christensen. It's awesome. The battle damage effects are far more significant. This thing is incredible. I think this one's going to be a little bit more expensive than maybe people realize. I think this could end up being like maybe a $460, $470 figure for the exclusive version just because of the base, which is adjustable. You can adjust the crotch grabber apparently, which is something new I haven't seen before. And then of course you got all the battle damage parts and swap outs and stuff like that. So, you know, as far as the helmet swap outs, that is, but yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what else more to say about it. I mean, it's great. I don't know if this is going to be one that comes home for me. I'm actually pretty content with my Kenobi version. I didn't love the Kenobi show, but I loved that moment between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. So I was actually really fond of that figure for that reason. And I still am. And I still think it looks phenomenal. This one is definitely a consideration. It does look a little bit better on the shelf, but I think I'm probably going to stick with my Kenobi version. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know what you're thinking about and whether this is going to be one you pick up. This Darth Vader is incredible. The light up base is just absolutely awesome. This thing is just so cool, man. I cannot be more excited for collectors who want this figure. I mean, whether it's the definitive Darth Vader, that's the question, right? We don't really know. I mean, to me, is a battle damage Darth Vader definitive? That's the question you have to ask yourself. To me, again, the Kenobi one was definitive because it offered you both. It offered you a crazy battle damage version and also a really cool standard version. That's why it was definitive to me. But still, nonetheless, this is great. An absolute awesome figure. And I'm glad that people are going to be picking this up. It's going to be a grail for a lot of people. I don't know if it's going to be for me, but I think a lot of people are really going to want this thing and they're going to line up to buy it. So we're going to see how that turns out. Let me know if it's your definitive Darth Vader, though. For me, I think I'm going to ride with Kenobi for now. I might just take the L on that one, but we'll see. Guys, let's talk about, this is probably the figure that I got messaged about the most, which is surprising to me because people have wanted an Artisan Black Widow, or honestly just a good Black Widow, for quite some time now. And now we finally have one. We have an Artisan Black Widow that has been announced for pre-order here, and it looks awesome. I mean, this is not even a question. This is the best Scarlett Johansson head sculpt that Hot Toys has done. I mean, it's not even up for debate. I mean, the other ones, some of them are okay, some are not okay, some better than others, whatever. But the hair looks pretty good here. Although I don't think it's perfect, I do think there's a little bit of extra volume here than I think needs to be. I did go back and look at the film. She did have some significant volume in that film. It was a very sort of wavy kind of, volumistic type hair, I guess if that's the term. So I do think it's accurate in that sense, but I do think maybe just a little bit too much. Still, magnetic base. This is in-art stuff right now. This is in-art stuff we're talking about. I would actually prefer that they have a magnetic base, but again, a little swap out option where you could plug in a little acrylic pole or a crotch grabber of some kind, just to give the figure more stability if you want it. That angle right there is remarkable. I mean, that's really good. Like, I don't think anyone can say that's not Scarlett Johansson there. That angle right there from a sort of like a 45-degree angle, just insane. The detail on the outfit, pretty good. I mean, I think it's tailored nicely to Scarlett Johansson. I think it looks good. But this thing is just awesome. This thing is absolutely awesome. That angle too, the life in the eyes, the lifelike aspects of this head sculpt are just remarkable. I got to look this up real quick. From what I remember, yeah, I wrote this down. So Artisan Black Widow has, I'm predicting, I think it's going to be about $390, $390 to $400. 6,000 total units, 4 for the special edition and 2 for the non-special edition. So there are going to be about 6,000 units of this thing. I do think again, for any Artisan figure, you're going to have to jump in the queue and you're going to have to claw your way in and fight your way in. So it's just kind of how it is. But I do think that you'll probably have an easier time getting this one if Sideshow has a significant quantity of them, because there are 6,000. Whether you get the special edition or not is the question, right? So, I think that's something you want to consider there. So Hot Toys noted that there was, of course, the special edition exclusive here, as you can see, the Iron Man Gauntlet. That, of course, is going to have a little bit more of an edition size. I believe they said it was 4 for that. So 4 for the special and 2 for non. So 4 for the special edition, including the Iron Man Gauntlet. If you don't care about that, you could always grab the standard edition without the Iron Man Gauntlet, and you still got an Artisan Black Widow. So 6,000 units, that's quite a bit. You got to think Joker was like 4,000 or 5,000. Anakin was like 3,000. Jack Sparrow was like 4,000 or 5,000. Loki was like 3,000 something. So it's quite a bit of units. So I do think this one is going to be attainable if you're in line and ready for the queue and got your payment methods ready and you're there. It's going to take a little bit of work, but you can do it. So that said, let's move on to our next figure. We got the Iron Man. Of course, I believe it's the Mark 42 here. It's the Iron Man 3 version. It's the sort of mostly gold figure. This has always been a suit that I've appreciated, but never been one that I felt like I needed to own. There is a deluxe version and a standard version. The deluxe version, as you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more here, has some battle damage armor parts and, of course, an LED light up base and some interchangeable arm parts on the right arm as well with hands. So I do think that's pretty cool. This armor, I think, is really cool. The battle damage effects look pretty cool. Again, this is an armor that's actually been made before and they're remaking it, so it's a 2.0. But I mean, I think it looks better. I think it fixes a lot of the issues from what I've heard that the first original version had. I do think this is an Iron Man suit that pops on the shelf. So if you're into it for that reason, I think it really does look good. The battle damage effects look pretty solid here. I think there's enough weathering to make it look lived in and battle damaged. Head sculpt, good, right? But not great. That's what I would say. I think this is good, not great. This is not Hot Toys' finest work, but a shot like that, you're probably going to put this Iron Man with the helmet on, right? So that's what I'm really excited about. I'm excited to see people put this in their display with that sort of battle damage look like that. That looks super cool. That looks really, really great. So I'm excited to see how people put this in their display. Again, I don't think this will be one for me. I got the battle damage Mark 85. I got the Mark 7, which I think is the goated suit. But yeah, I don't know. He looks kind of like swollen, doesn't he? He looks like his cheeks are swollen or something. Something's a little bit off there. The likeness is off. I think Hot Toys needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Not terrible, but not great either. Very mid. The updated one, as you can see, is a lot better. I think, honestly, it's just really cool there. I think that's awesome. The updated proportions, just the overall bulkiness of the suit. I think overall you got a really good looking figure here. And, if you don't care about the deluxe parts, you can figure that out and get the standard edition too. This is not an exclusive, so you're not gonna have to fight for this one, not gonna line up right away, but you do want to pick it up sooner rather than later if that's something that you want to pick up. But yeah, I'm happy for people that want this. Again, not the biggest Iron Man fan. I'm projecting around, I think this one's going to be expensive. I think it's going to be around like $475 to $490. I do think it's going to be a little bit pricey just because of the light up base and, of course, the swappable parts and the head sculpt and the die-cast armor and stuff like that. So I think this one's going to be more expensive than people realize. You have to remember, too, the Mark III 2.0 was like, what, $460? So I think this is going to be a little bit higher than that. So I think people should prepare for that accordingly. So let's actually share real quick. There were a couple of Spider-Man figures that were announced as well that I want to bring up. It was an Iron Spider. There's an Artisan edition and, of course, a standard edition. I think we need to go over both of those. So let's go over the Artisan edition first, which, of course, if you're unfamiliar, Artisan edition is a rooted hair version of a figure, right? So usually has wool rooted hair and sort of like hand fine-tuning rooting on the hair. So it's pretty cool. This is an updated version, no doubt about it. I mean, the original Iron Spider had a lot of issues, and I think this one does rectify a lot of those issues. I do think the separate neck piece is going to be a lot better. You got a battle damage head sculpt here because this is from Endgame battle damage. I mean, he has a couple bruises, right? But still, nonetheless, it has it. This head sculpt is really, really good. And if you think about it, Iron Spider is nowhere near my favorite Spider-Man suit, but I got to say, you could make an argument for it being the definitive suit, although I wouldn't agree with it, just because of it's the suit that he wears in the most films. Like, he wears it in several films. He wears it in Infinity War. He wears it in Endgame. And it shows up in Homecoming even. So he doesn't end up wearing it from my memory. But, still, it's a suit that he wears quite often. And I think at the end of the day, this is going to be one that a lot of people will really go for. It's Spider-Man for one. And two, it's Tom Holland and it's Artisan. I think this looks really good. I think the fabric and the overall material looks better. I think the claws look better. Apparently they're magnetic this time. The base is cool, although it does look very similar to an Iron Studios base that they use for 1/10 scale Corvus Glaive and Call Obsidian Black Order figures. Anything Endgame, basically. You get Mjolnir with it, which I think is also really cool. Again, the claws to me just look superior to the previous version. So, you got to think about this one too, about sort of what the overall cost is going to be. From my speculation, I think this one's going to be about $475 with 3,500 units worldwide for this. So this one could be one you have to go after a little bit more, because 3,500 units, that could sell out relatively quickly for a Spider-Man. So if you do want this and you need this Iron Spider, I would say to get in the Artisan queue on Sideshow whenever it goes live, which I will post those times as soon as I know, but I don't know. Nothing's been said right now. But if you have other Spider-Man figures that you don't need this Iron Spider, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I got the new red and blue suit Spider-Man, and I got the Far From Home tech suit Spidey. Those are my two Spidey suits that I love. If they were going to remake any Spidey, I would have loved to have seen a tech suit remake with a rooted hair head sculpt like Artisan. That would have been my preference, but, they didn't go that route. They decided to, go with the Iron Spider version. So end of the day, still a really cool figure. I think a lot of people really want this Iron Spider. It's a great looking figure. It's not going to be for me, but there's a sculpted version. So if you miss out on the Artisan version, it still looks really, really great. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely give it a check out. I think you're going to have a lot of, really cool Spider-Man figures on the market these days that, you can choose from. So there's no rush on the sculpted one. I mean, it's going to be available for quite a while, most likely. But of course, you got the web effects with Mjolnir when he's flying through the air. That's pretty cool. This is great. I mean, you got the nano gauntlet there, which also looks really cool with the light up effects. The suit seems to be handling creasing a little bit better and just overall articulation a bit better. And of course, I mean, I can't imagine if you bought the Artisan edition of this one that you would keep the head sculpt in the box. That would kind of defeat the purpose of buying the Artisan. So if you don't see yourself using the Artisan head sculpt, then I wouldn't even go for that version, right? It would only make logical sense for you to just get the deluxe version, the sculpted version, if you want to display Iron Spidey like that. So it is cool you have options, but if you want the Artisan version, it's kind of like, you got moving eyeballs here, rolling eyeballs. So again, another cool option on the market. I mean, Hot Toys dropped some absolute bangers today. It's absolutely insane just what was dropped today. I had no idea this was going to happen. It all sprung on us out of nowhere. Seems like the leaks were true. There's going to be a Terminator, I assume, in the near future, maybe a Darkseid Anakin, it sounds like. So I don't think Hot Toys is done yet. It's not really been the summer of Marvel, but we've got some cool Marvel stuff now. So I'm gonna give Hot Toys a pass on that one. I think they're delivering some of the summer of Marvel stuff. So I would still love to see a Corvus Glaive though. Hot Toys, there's still time. You can still put out a Corvus Glaive for us. Guys, let's move on to one of the more controversial announcements, not from a Hot Toys standpoint, but from an in-art standpoint. So for those who remember, or maybe if you're new to collecting, the In-Art Collectibles Joker was announced a little while ago. I think it was like maybe 3 to 6 months ago, something like that. And the In-Art Joker was actually a 2-pack or a 4-pack. So you could get different figures. You got an Arthur Fleck version with the Murray Franklin Joker red suit for about $1,100 to $1,200, depending upon where you bought it shipped. Or you could buy a 4-pack with 4 different figures that was about $1,700 shipped from 1/6 kit. So now Hot Toys has come in with an Artisan Edition Joker. And the community is in a little bit of a stir right now, just because this Joker is going to come in probably around $475, somewhere around there, for the Artisan Edition. And then you have the Sculpted Edition, which is obviously going to be far less than that. It's probably going to end up being like $315 or something like that. Let me see, how many units does this Joker have? This Joker, let's see here. Joker has 4,000 units, which is about typical for an Artisan figure these days so far, based on the precedent they've set. So, this is something we want to consider. I mean, the Artisan Edition, I think, does look good, although I'm not crazy about the head sculpt or the hair. I do think it's good, not great. When I look at this photo, I do see Joaquin. However, I do see some work that needs to be done here. The likeness is good. but the paint applications don't seem that great. Neither does the hair on this one. So personally for me, I'm going to stick with the InArt one. I've already pre-ordered it. I'm happy with that one. I think that one's a better quality. And I think overall this is still a good option. And for collectors who really just wanted the one Joker, it's a fucking fantastic option because you're paying a hell of a lot less to just get the one Joker that you really want instead of buying other versions, which we'll talk about a little bit more soon. So, you know, this Joker here, the sculpted version, I think the sculpted version somehow looks better. I'm not sure exactly how that is, but the paint applications almost look better and the hair almost looks a little bit better. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it does look pretty good. I do think the Artisan version has a lot of potential. I'm excited to see where it goes. But this one, I'm happy this is getting made. I'm absolutely shocked that this was put up for pre-order. I didn't think Hot Toys really was interested in touching the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. However, clearly they are now. Maybe because they saw InArt was doing it and they were like, you know, Hot Toys does that. They'll see like a third party doing a classic Loki and they're like, we could do a classic Loki. Or like they'll see InArt doing Joaquin and they'll be like, we could do Joaquin. So they kind of gauge the market based on what others do from time to time. And then they, you know, make a decision from there. So yeah, this one will probably be like maybe $315 or $330 or something. You get the really cool diorama base. Look at this diorama base, guys. This is awesome. So the Murray Franklin Talk Show, you get light up LEDs here. You get the curtain. I think this is really cool. You get the gloss black base there with the Joker emblem on the front, Joker logo on the front. I think that's really awesome. You're probably going to have him sitting in the chair, so it's good that the cloth articulates and the body articulates really effectively, because if you're going to have him in a position like that long term, then I think overall you want him to be comfortable. So this looks good though. I can't deny it looks good. It looks really good, man. I'm really happy for people that want this. And again, I'm happy for people that want the Artisan version. I want to share a photo real quick just because I have something pulled up and this is just a very basic sort of photo here, right? We have the Hot Toys Artisan edition versus this is the InArt edition on the right. And again, the InArt edition, you have to consider all the other figures you're getting too. You're getting all those diorama bases, the staircase diorama base. Of course, you're getting the Arthur Fleck. And, you know, you're getting the Murray Franklin Talk Show. And then, of course, you're getting the bathroom scene for $1,700. Or you're just getting Arthur Fleck and the staircase and the Murray Franklin Joker and the diorama Murray Franklin backdrop for about $1,150 or $200 or $1,200, sorry, something like that. So you're paying about 2x, but you're getting two figures versus one, right? Overall, you're looking at the price because these are shipped prices for InArt, right? So if you're looking at the Hot Toys one shipped, you're probably paying about half, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just you're getting an extra figure with it. So I wanted to address something real quick because this is a conversation that I think that needs to be had. So guys, make sure you check out Kiko Collect's video where he talked about this subject, because I think he's one of my best friends, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think Kiko makes really good videos that get people to have larger conversations that really do help the community and the overall collective conversation that we all need to be having, right? So I want to express my thoughts on this. And all I'm asking really is that everyone be respectful on this. Like if you disagree, you can please note that in the comments. But I think I want to give my perspective on this, why I think people are drastically overreacting. So if you missed some of this, people are upset that InArt announced originally that there was a $1,000 mandate, a $1,000 minimum cost mandate by Warner Bros. That the Joaquin Phoenix Joker had to be $1,000 or else InArt could not produce that figure, $1,000 or more, right? So people have jumped to the conclusion that InArt was lying about that mandate because Hot Toys has now come in and offered a Joker for about half that, right? That is just, to me, like, I don't even know where to start as far as like why that is like an absolutely ridiculous claim. So here's what I would say. InArt does not have the global license for Joaquin Phoenix. They have a Asia-based license for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, whereas Hot Toys has a global license. Those are in two entirely different sets of negotiations. And also circumstances can change. InArt acquired this license, could be possibly a year or more ago, just in order to develop a prototype to make this figure. And now that the Joker 2 film is getting closer to releasing, it's highly probable, or even possible at minimum, that the circumstances change and Warner Bros. Is more willing to lower the threshold and let companies make Joker, Joker merchandise without that minimum. It could also be that InArt's full of shit and they're lying and they put up a $1,000 mandate and it wasn't actually true. That doesn't make any sense though. It doesn't, like if you think about this logically, why would they do that and then offer you a 2-pack Joker that has a lot of value to it? Like if they said that was the mandate, why wouldn't they just say, okay, we're going to make a super high end one Murray Franklin Joker and just like fucking, extort the shit out of you because you need that Joaquin Phoenix Joker, right? And then we're going to charge you $1,000 for one figure and not give you the value. Like that would have made more sense for the conspiracy theory that InArt lied about this. Like if they were going to do that, why wouldn't they extort you to the fullest and make the highest profit possible? If you needed a Joker, like you couldn't survive without it. Like it doesn't make any sense. There's so many other factors involved with these licensing considerations. And I also don't think people realize how influential Sideshow is when it comes to licensing. Like Sideshow is probably the biggest collectible company on the planet. And it's not even a theory at this point. A lot of times people have like reported it that Sideshow holds the licenses for these 1/6 collectibles, and they essentially have Hot Toys create the figures under that license that they possess. So they're like leasing it out to them almost, right? So it wouldn't be, Sideshow, I'm sure, can negotiate better terms with Warner Bros. Because they have a much more long-standing relationship, and they operate in a different sort of tier and different market than InArt does. So it's two entirely different things that people are conflating as InArt is full of shit and lying. And I think there are legitimate criticisms of InArt that are sort of making this issue worse, which I do agree with. The batch system, way too slow. Some of the QC issues, I understand that. But I mean, they're not, it just depends on your perspective on that. Regardless, that's all I really want to say about it. There could be more that we can discuss about it that we'll probably talk about on a live stream. But I just think people need to maybe sometimes calm down just a bit, take a step back from it, not let emotions control your decision-making and logic and rationale and brain, and just think about that. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You disagree? Just do it respectfully, please. And other than that, I think these announcements are absolutely incredible. I'm super excited and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. But make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. You guys are amazing as always. Thank you for the support. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. See you later. Bye.